Demolition, and there's that right hand. They're duking it out, not by the right hand. Takayama.
Green trunks for the southpaw, the notorious Conor McGregor. Black trunks for the champion, Jose Aldo Jr. Conor relaxed, smiling. Oh!
Nate Diaz, you just shook up the world. How's that feel? Hey, I'm not surprised.
Hey, welcome to this week's episode, Chingasos Combat Crew. How is everyone doing out there? Thank you for joining us this week. We got a full jam-packed episode. We got UFC 304 results. We got P.E.D. accusations in the UFC, MMA rule changes out there, and plenty of up-and-coming matches in the UFC. My primo, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing good. Getting ready to talk about these fights going on, and yeah, just enjoying the weekend. How you doing?
We got lots and lots of good stuff to talk about. But before we do, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Join the crew weekly so you don't forget about any of our episodes. And reminder, all of our episodes are set up into chapters so you can skip around to the story that you want to listen to the most. Cuz you ready to talk Chingasos?
Let's do it.
Let's freaking do this. All right. First up on the screen. Usually we don't do this for the end, but I'm too pumped. I need to talk about UFC 304 right now. Are you ready to do this, guys? Let's start. I only want to talk about the drama, the fights, or the finishes. So let's start with some drama here. Manel Kape, Muhammad Mokaev apparently had gotten into a little scuffle, an altercation. So I know, remember, I think me and you talked about this about 2 or 3 weeks ago, that these guys had got into an argument at the PI Center in Vegas, and Manel Kape had elbowed or kneed Muhammad in the forehead and split him open. And we were like, dude, this is crazy. They're fighting like in 3 weeks. Why would they do that? But apparently that was like fight 1 of 3 that took place between these gentlemen. Yeah, they got into it at the PI Center. They got into it at the hotel. They were getting into it all over the place. Check this out. This was at, I don't know if this is a screenshot. Oh, yeah, it's just a screenshot. Apparently, in this scuffle here, Manel had gotten busted up in the head and was bleeding profusely. Unfortunately, we aren't able to see that angle here in this video, but this is just proof that they were already thrown down before the fight even went down.
So what's the beef behind these two?
So I don't know how the beef originally started, but it escalated to the next level when Muhammad Mokaev asked Manel Kape if he would take a picture with him. So I guess they had some beef, but then they were like, it kind of seemed like they were going to bury the hatchet, right? And then they even posted about it. Somebody even posted like, hey, check it out. They squashed the beef. They had their arms around each other. They were like, thumbs up. And then apparently, as soon as the picture was done and Manel Kape turned his back, bro, because Muhammad threw a right hand and hit him in the back of the head. Yeah.
What?
Isn't that shady?
Yeah.
So then from there, it just went on. And then when they asked Muhammad about it, he said that he's not going to allow Manel to be a bully and bully him around. So I don't know what Manel said or what he did, but apparently he felt that that's what he needed to do so that he could, I don't know, do that. I don't know. It's just really, really weird, you know?
Yeah. What's what's going on there?
And then like at the weigh-ins, at the stare downs, they were like 2 chihuahuas being held behind a fence, trying to rip each other apart.
Yeah, okay, I saw that. I saw
like
that.
At the weigh-ins, dude. At the weigh-ins, they didn't even let them get near each other.
They were like,
holding them down. You know what I mean? And then even when they were in the cage, they were still like, I'm like, dude, you guys are literally gonna fight in 1 minute. Just wait.
Yeah.
And then what happened when the fight started?
Nothing.
I was like, hey, are we gonna see a fight? Are these guys? Do they know they're supposed to be fighting right now?
It's like when that Chihuahua was at the gate and for a bigger dog, and all of a sudden the gate opens up and it's like,
Yeah, there's a meme
Yeah.
going around right now. And that's exactly it, dude. Like the gate opens and they're like, somebody's calling me. You know, it was a pretty boring fight. Pretty boring fight.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess if somebody has to win that fight, I would have given it to Muhammad.
Okay. Yep.
He did do a little bit more. Manel Cop did seem like he was a little worried about the takedown, so he didn't let off until there was like very little time left in each round.
Okay, gotcha.
So a little.
I didn't get a chance to really watch this fight.
Didn't.
I caught this like towards the end.
You definitely didn't miss much. We will talk about the aftermath of this, what happened to these fighters afterwards, but
Okay,
we'll get to that once we go through all the fights. Let's move on to the main portion of the card. This was a banger of a fight. I did have.
Oh my god!
Right,
yeah,
you get Chikadze and Arnold Allen. So, dude, what did you think about this, man?
I thought that it was fast paced from the get go. They were doing some of those leg kicks. They were just coming across their head. There was that one knee that just barely grazed Allen.
Right,
it almost connected. I was like, that was a finishing.
Or what about that
right
head
there,
kick in the second round from Giga when he hit Arnold?
You know? Oh yeah.
But it did seem
this was
like
a good fight.
Oh, it was a great fight. It was a stand-up battle. It was like precision and accuracy versus like the unstoppable, immovable force. You know what I mean? Because Giga was like pretty slick. He was on his back foot the entire time.
Yeah.
Fighting from his back foot, which is like the announcer was saying, pretty hard to do. He was landing. But every time Arnold landed, like it was like boo, like a car wreck. Like the impacts were just doing that much more damage. And at the end of the fight, by the end of the fight, it looked like Giga could barely even breathe out of his nose. It looked like he was breathing out of his mouth. He definitely
did not look like a number 6 versus a number 10 fight.
No, he pieced him up. He made it look like the first round I think I gave to Giga, but after that it was all Arnold Allen, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
so I'm excited to see what this guy can do because I don't think he's reached his potential, man. I'm a big fan of Arnold Allen. I like the frame. I like how busy he is. I like that he's not afraid to get in the pocket. I like that he can go down on the ground when he needs it to. But in this case, he went toe-to-toe with one of the best strikers in the UFC.
Yeah, it was good. It was definitely better than the previous fight before that with Nathaniel Wood and Daniel Padilla. Yeah, definitely better than that fight.
That was a war too. Yeah, that didn't start to tell the third round though.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
getting dog shit beat out of him. But what about our boy Gregory RoboCop Rodrigues?
Yes. Oh my god.
Did he not put on a clinic? I don't know if you watched any of the pre-fight talk, but everybody was on Christian Leroy Duncan's nuts.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
no,
they
I
were
didn't
like
see
CLDs.
that.
He was I think he was not a slight favorite, but like in the 200 range, 170-ish range.
According to UFC, it was 142. The odds were 142 to 120.
There we go. So he was
in favor of Christian
CLD, right? Yeah, but off the bat, bro, right off the bat, RoboCop was like, "Hey, hold my pistol. I'm using these right now."
Yes. Yep.
I loved how he he just went in there, dude. And he's like, "Oh, you like to stand in, man? Cool, me too." Boom, boom, boom. It really seemed like the only offense that CLD was getting off was those elbows every once in a while. And then he started getting desperate and going for those spins. And he did catch RoboCop. Was it in the second or third round when he split him open pretty bad?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And then there was that one attempt, I think at one point where he did that. He had his leg and he did that spinning back kick. And that got close.
He tried to do like that Joaquin Buckley type thing, huh? RoboCop. That was pretty cool. That was cool to see.
That was cool.
But not as cool as those chichones that CLD had on. Dude, he literally looked like a cartoon, like when people are fighting and then like Yosemite Sam gets out of the fight, comes in like the justice cell and there's like a bump here, a bump here, a bump here. Like there are knots all over CLD's head. But great fight here.
He was in a bad fight right there.
Oh yeah, it was an awesome scrap. Neither one of these gentlemen were ranked at the moment, but I would imagine this is just going to help build momentum for RoboCop, and he might get someone in the 15 to 13 range pretty soon here. All right, because your favorite British fighter, Paddy the Baddy Pimblet, taking on recently name change King Green. What were your thoughts? Yeah, he changed his name officially to King Green.
Oh my god, I hate him even more now. So I didn't like both of these fighters to begin with. I don't like Paddy because of his.
Why don't you like
his
Paddy?
attitude? I don't like his attitude. I don't like how he comes across. I don't like him at all. But I really don't like Green just because of all the shit talk he does. Even though every time that I've watched him fight, he gets his ass handed to him. I just don't like his personality. If I saw this guy on the street, I would like probably just continue just walking. I wouldn't even yeah. I
have to agree with you.
I like Paddy for what he did. I'll give it to him for what he did and put this guy away yesterday.
Check it out. I got a Paddy Pimblet keychain.
There you go.
He's got the same haircut as He-Man.
Right? Yeah.
No, but dude, I'm not a fan of either one of these guys for mostly the same. And I want to be a fan of Paddy so bad, but he just he's a talker. You know what I mean? Like he does so. It sounds like he does a lot for his community and his fans. You know what I mean? Talking about like the way he was talking about that kid that he was honoring. He
wore the armband.
That fight to him. Yeah, that was solid, dude. Like, how can you not get behind a guy like that? I know he's a big proponent of mental health. I know he lost a super homie to suicide, so he likes to talk about that. And so yeah, I want to get behind him but he just talks. He writes checks that he has not been able to cash as of yet. And let's get into this fight. Let's see.
Okay.
I was so PO'd in the group chat last night about this. Man, I was heated, bro. I was so heated. Check this out. So this is after after King Green ran in like what would you say, dude? Like basically serving his head on a platter for a
pretty much, yeah. Dove in there head first.
Dove in head first, not even taking an angle, just straight on. And originally Paddy sunk in a guillotine. But then he opened it up quickly and slapped in a triangle. And that was the trap that King was not going to be able to get out of. And I think he might have already been unconscious here.
He looked
right. And then Paddy extends the arm. Check this out. He looks like he's probably out right there. Look, he's not even moving his arms. Paddy's
right there. His leg goes limp.
So there it is, man. He gets the W. He gets a submission. Took no damage. He could fight next week if he really wanted to.
Right. And I mean, you got to give it to Paddy though too at the same time, because he had his arm in the arm bar as well, and he didn't. He could have broke it. Just went crazy with that, but he didn't. He held it there. He didn't break his arm. You know, he knew the guy was out. He was just pretty much holding them there until the ref.
Paddy is slick on the ground, because like how can you how do you, like, most guys would have had, because that guillotine was in deep. Most guys would have burnt their arms out trying to finish that.
Yeah.
And Paddy recognized that he wasn't going to be able to get the finish and was like, oh, what do I got here? I got your arm already, bro. Triangle City. And as soon as he opened his leg, opened the guard up and shot that right leg up over, I couldn't believe that King didn't posture up. That's like week 1 white belt shit. Like, hey,
he laid right into it.
Don't let them break your posture. Get up. Look to the ceiling. If he could have done that, it would have been a little harder for Paddy to lock the triangle in, and then he would have been able to work to try to get his arm out or get that other arm in, and then he would have been in his full guard, and then we work to get back up from there. But shout out to Paddy, man. Hey, I'm not a fan yet, but you could turn me into one, possibly.
Now, do you think that you kind of do you think he's like kind of, I don't want to say he is, but similar to Conor McGregor when he first came out? Because I remember when Conor McGregor first came out, we both didn't like him because we felt the same thing. We felt that he was talking
finishes. Conor was getting finishes. He was knocking fools out. This guy is like, this is his first round finish, I think. But other than that, can you name another win that you're impressed by? Where like Conor dusted Dustin Poirier right off the bat, even though we didn't know who Dustin was. He finished him. Then Conor fought gosh, I can't remember the little German short dude who was all stocky. He finished that dude also as well.
Okay.
And then Max Holloway,
Yeah.
every fight Conor was in was a battle. Whereas like Paddy barely got through 3 rounds with an old ass Tony Ferguson. I'm not impressed.
Now,
Paddy got into a war with that dude who does the booty shaking thing. I forget the guy's name. You know, and it's like, dude, you didn't even like you subbed him, but you didn't make him pay, you know, not Conor style. So I'm not impressed yet, but that doesn't mean he can't do it. So he got on the mic. He's probably gonna take King Green's 15 ranking now.
Good.
So he's officially in the ranking. He's in.
Okay.
Who should he fight next? He got on the mic and he called out Renato Moicano, but Moicano's already set to fight Benoit Saint-Denis in France in September.
Now, didn't he say he wasn't? The way I heard it, he wasn't calling him out. He was saying, I thought I heard him say, like, everyone wants me to fight this person.
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it because I thought he said it made it sound like this guy's been calling me out, so let's run it, which is true because Renato has been talking shit about him. So that would make sense if Renato did not have a fight coming up. But he does.
What about him being the replacement, like the backup if something goes wrong?
That could be it too. That could be it too. But I don't know if he's gonna want to go through a weight cut and not go all the way through without there being a guaranteed fight. But
he does love his pizza.
To make. Like, dude, if he's gonna be at 15, there's 2 guys ahead of him right there. RDA and Jalen Turner, the trencher. RDA would be a awesome feather in his cap if he could do that. And that might be a pretty.
I was thinking Jalen Turner. That would be sick to see them two fight.
It would be. I think if Jalen can get a good camp in, I think it would be a really hard fight for him to win, just because of the reach.
Think so?
I think so. But RDA is probably a better matchup for him because RDA is going to try to do some of the same stuff that Paddy's going to do. He's going to try to wrestle him. He's going to try to take him down. That's what Paddy wants. You know what I mean? And on top of that, RDA is already at the end of his career. He's a lot older. He's going to be a lot slower. You know, it's almost like another tailor-made opponent for Paddy. You know, hey, let's get you somebody that's got a lot of name recognition. It's going to help you look good. Might not put you in a whole lot of danger, but it might win you some fans, just like he just did with King Green. After that, I don't think he has a shot against anybody. Benoit Saint-Denis, I think, would beat the dog shit out of him. Dan Hooker would be a fun fight, but I think Dan Hooker would beat him up.
Yeah, you think
so? I think Renato is better than what Paddy is good at is getting people to the ground and using his submissions. I think Renato's even better at that though. And then once we get past Renato, then we're moving into 5, 6 through 10. You know what I mean?
Oh shit!
So they're a lot harder. Look at Max Holloway, Rafael Fiziev, Beneil Dariush, Michael Chandler, Matthias Gamrot. You know what I mean? Like it's just gonna get harder after that. But Paddy's leveling up. He's not the same Paddy, obviously, for sure. So let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens. He might get in one more time this year. We got a little bit of time, and he took, like we said, he took very little. I want to say he took like no damage. Right?
I don't think he did take any damage.
Yeah, I think
he takes more. He takes more damage in probably training than he did that fight last night.
Yeah, definitely. Right, definitely. So leading up to UFC 304, I think this was like 2 weeks ago. Tom Aspinall went on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani, and he told him that he was going digging deep into his old gypsy background and was bringing back an old cultural tradition of soaking your hands in petrol every night until the fight. So he said he was doing this for like, what was it, 20, 30 minutes a night?
Something like that, yeah.
Right? And then Ariel's like, nah, bro, you're lying. And then Tom was like, Dad, get the camera. Let's FaceTime with Ariel. And there he was, dude. So I'm not glad he was doing this because that's probably retarded. But who knows?
Yeah.
It might have worked. We'll get into that in just a little bit. But I'm glad that he was doing this outside because that could easily become a really, really bad situation. Bad move. This news just in. Tom Aspinall has died in combustible house fire at accident. But I remember them talking about like gypsy culture in the movie Snatch. You ever seen that movie Snatch?
Okay. Yeah. That was a great movie.
Badass. This is a Guy Ritchie movie. So if you're into guns, fights, people getting their ass kicked, people getting revenge, go watch it. Sick ass movie.
And not being able to understand them when they talk. Yeah.
That's a part of being a gypsy. All right, cuz let's get into this co-main event here. Tiny Tom Aspinall taking on Curtis Razor Blaydes. And it did not take long to figure out what was going to happen in this fight, right? Like there were two giants. And I was literally like texting. I'm like, Curtis Blaydes has no problems fighting guys as long as they're not big. They don't have heavy hands. 2 seconds later, Tom Aspinall, this story, Frank. Hold my beer.
Yep. That gasoline, dipping his hands in gasoline must have helped.
Man, it must have, dude. Because look, he ate one. I think he eats a right hand from Blaydes. And then Blaydes is like, "Oh, I like that. Let me get some more." And then Tom's like,
and then boom,
boom, boom, boom, boom. So Tom throws a left, and then he throws a right, but he missed with the right. And Blaydes was already on his way down. Blaydes hits the mat, and then he finishes it up with like another 8 punches on the ground. Look at this.
Right, and he doesn't even do it. He doesn't even do anything like to defend it. He's almost like he's in the turtle. Up.
He was probably like probably didn't even know where he was at. You know what I mean? Like it just happened so fast. It happened so freaking fast. Look at him. He's like, "What happened?"
Yeah.
Look, we can even watch the clip again. That's how fast this is.
So and then Aspinall, he was just on it like freaking.
Right. Look, there's that
as soon as he goes down,
Blaydes lands, then he overreaches, and then boom, that was all she wrote. Tom throws the left, falls it up, and he was done, man. He was done.
Yeah, he's like he keeps trying to like get up. You know what he looked like? He looked like that time we were doing the mud run, and I kept trying to get up.
Electrocuted.
And it kept shooting me back down. Yeah, and it kept shooting me back down, and I would get up, it would shoot me back down, and I just could in my brain. My brain just said, "Keep getting up," and you were fighting like, "Don't get up."
Yeah. Yup. His body like went into autopilot, and it was like Aspinall hands were hooked up to a car battery, and every time he hit Blaydes, it was like what are those? The
reset.
Defibrillators. Like,
defibrillator.
Wake up, knock out. Wake up and knock out. Wake up and knock out. But he was done, bro. He was done. I know Curtis was complaining about the stoppage in the post-fight interviews and whatnot. Aspinall had a great response. He's like, "No disrespect, man, but I hit you with 8 right hands in a row. What were you gonna do? What was gonna happen? He had all his weight on his back. The only thing he didn't have was his hooks in, but it was perfect for striking. So if he landed 8 uncontested shots, the only other thing that could have happened if the fight would have continued was he would have ate 8 more, if not triple that, and then he for sure would have been done. You know?
Yep, I agree.
So I agree with Dana White. Dana White said he was asked in the post-fight interviews if they're gonna have a rematch, and he's like, "I don't see a need to. There's no rematch."
Yeah.
So that chapter is done. But I love what this dude said on the mic afterwards. Right?
Okay.
Check him out. I don't know if you heard this.
I forgot this.
But he said
I listened,
something,
but I couldn't understand him.
He said something super cool, like, "Hey, you know, my mom and dad are like regular workers. This is what my mom did. This is what my dad did. They raised me to be like this humble, hardworking, good kid who stands up for good and not evil. When I saw things wrong in my neighborhood, I would stand up for it. I'm just a regular guy, and here I am showing you that regular people can do extraordinary things." And I was like, "Damn, how can you not freaking like this kid, man? How can you not like it?" And then check out this message for a guy named Johnny Bones Jones.
Hello, John. I have nothing against you personally, but I just think I'm better than you. I just know that I can beat you in a fight, so I'm coming for it.
So obviously he's got the home crowd behind him, so they're going to be all for it. You know, when he said that, like, I don't know why, but this image came into my head. Like, what would it look like if Tom were to hit John with one of those left hands? Would he eat that and wrestle still? Or would he go down like Curtis? Nobody's ever touched John like that. Like, he's been hit hard, but I can't think of a time Not in the Dominic Reyes fight, not in the Alexander Gustafsson fight, not against Daniel Cormier, not against Thiago Santos. I do not remember anybody hitting John and putting him on skates.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. I've seen him get hit, but I've
Just
never seen
because
him like
it hasn't
speak about
happened
it.
doesn't mean it cannot. And when this dude like this has thunder, freaking earthquakes power in his hands, he just barely has to touch it, man. This is gonna be like things just got really, really interesting. If they weren't interesting before, now it's officially interesting. And Dana already said that Tom is gonna be the backup in November, Madison Square Garden, when John takes on Stipe. So if one of those guys, if something were to happen, Tiny Tom's stepping in. Tiny Tom is stepping in. But check this out. Tom Aspinall has his own plan. This is amazing. This is crazy. This is right up our boy Fonzo's alley. Check this out. Tom has a proposal for the heavyweight division. Everyone out there watching and listening, what do you think about this?
Here's a thought for you. I was thinking about this. What about, so they're saying that Stipe and John Jones are going to fight in MSG in November. Why don't we do a tournament? We'll do John, Stipe, me, Alex.
Let's do it over.
Here's a thought for you. I was thinking about this.
Let me see if I can turn it up. It's pretty low.
Okay.
Start it over. 3, 2.
Here's a thought for you. I was thinking about this the other day. What about, so they're saying that Stipe and John Jones are going to fight in MSG in November. Why don't we do a tournament? We'll do John, Stipe, me, Alex, and do a 4-man tournament, 2 fights in one night.
He's crazy.
And let's find out who the real heavyweight champion in the world is. Like, we got the...
That would be some insane shit, man. That's like Pride Fighting Championship. No athletic commission in the United States is going to allow that to happen. But you know what they could do? They could make John Jones, Stipe Miocic, co-main event, Tom Aspinall, Alex Pereira, and then early 2025, the winners.
Yes.
What's
Yeah, that would be so good. Oh my god.
I don't want to see Alex fight Tom Aspinall though, man. I don't think he can do it. I think he's too small. I mean, it would be a great fight. And I just feel like that would be a bad way for the legend of Alex to take a step back. You know, or if he pulls it off, then it's amazing. Really, he's probably got nothing to lose, but that's gonna hurt, bro. That's gonna be a ass whooping right there. I don't know if I want to see that.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. I want to see him and Jones.
I do want to see John and Tom.
Yes.
All right.
I want to see that.
All right, cuz let's get into the main event here. Belal Muhammad and Leon Rocky Edwards. So on Thursday, there was a little incident between these guys in an elevator of the hotel. And Belal, check this out. So this is what Belal says. Belal says he ran into Leon and his team in the elevator, and he said Leon looks scared. I just saw him right now in the elevator. He looked like he was afraid. Him, his brother, and his coach, they all look like cowards. Leon didn't say a word. His coach was talking, but he was just has a weird, stupid accent, and he sounds like he kind of has autism or he's slow. They just look like a weird group of guys. Well, you know what happens in 2024, cuz everybody's got a camera. Everybody. So here it is. Let me play this clip. You're going to want to see this. Hold on. I got to fix it. Damn it. Just got to move it up just a little bit. All right. There we go. 3, 2. All right. As you know, cuz it's 2024. There's cameras everywhere. So there's a camera, of course, in the fucking elevator. Oh, shit. Come
I remember the name. Come on, boys. So let's slide in, boys. Someone hit one. Press the button. Come on, fellas. Yes,
Dude, they're like facing.
Aspinal.
The vagina just walked in.
That boy told.
That's because your breath is up. That boy told. Your mouth is open.
Yeah, no.
Your mouth.
Look, there it is. Look.
You smell it? You smell it? You have the group right there, bro. You have a pack of.
Oh. Bro, that's kind of shady that they would go at him like that when they're that deep, and it was just Belal and him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But kudos to Belal, he didn't back down.
He didn't.
Like he was a little concerned for a little bit, but after a while, he's just like, all right, whatever. But that's kind of corny of Leon to be like talking shit to him when he had all his homies. You know?
Yeah.
And
but I mean that's kind of normal.
Part of the game. Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know?
For sure. It's part of the game. But just like if we're talking like honor or like fucking samurai talk back in the day, like bro, you're gonna fight. You're gonna I mean, like why it's almost like his team was putting extra pressure on him by doing that because now it's like, bro, when they close that cage, it's just Leon and Belal.
Yeah. But I mean, it's kind of like, they're kind of living through Leon, you know, and talking shit and everything. And then Leon's probably in the back. He's like, dude, shut the fuck up, man. Like,
AB,
I'm the one that's got to go in there and fight him. Like,
exactly.
Shut
but
up.
Maybe not.
Right,
maybe like they kind of seemed like they were all on the same page because they
but I'm saying like maybe in his head, Leon was thinking, "Oh fuck, like shit,
I see,
shut the fuck up."
Maybe.
But then on the outside, he's like, "Yeah, he's part of it." Yeah, but in his mind, because like I know you were going to talk about the fight later on when they got into the cage. Leon did not look himself. Leon did not look angry, aggressive, or anything.
We'll check that out right now. But check this out: the day before, on Thursday, before the weigh-ins. Leon had this quote where someone was asking him like, hey, you know that Belal's been training with Khabib and he says that his wrestling is on point just like them and this and that. And Leon says, Belal isn't fucking Khabib. He's Belal. You can't use Khabib to credit yourself. You didn't grow up with him. So he's kind of just like, hey, you can train with Khabib all you want. You're not fucking Khabib. And Belal
that's very true.
You're right. I'm not Khabib. I'm Belal. And So let's talk about the fight because I only have one clip, and that's of a key moment in the fight that we'll get to in a little bit. But what did you think? I repeat, I did not see this coming. Like I was pulling for Belal. I was thinking maybe he could squeak out a 3-2 decision, but I did not see total domination.
That domination, that complete domination. When a couple times that he just lifted him up and dumped him on. One time, literally dumped him on his head,
right there on the screen.
Good. Yep. I mean, I was just like, good God, this this guy's in for a ride.
You know when I thought that? Oh shoot, man! I don't know if this guy's not afraid of him. I thought that the playing like going into the fight, I thought Leon had the advantage just because he's the champ. He's done. He's put in the work. You know, gone through hell and back, got his ass whooped for 4.95 minutes, 95% of a fight. And then that last 0.05% of the round in round 5 against Kamaru, he pulls off the unbelievable, right? But they faced off at the weigh-ins, and Belal did that gun thing to Leon and went headshot bang. And then Leon tried to punk Belal, and Belal didn't even flinch.
Even move.
He didn't even blink. I was like, bro is freaking tuned in. He is like dialed in. Like he is ready to go. He is not scared of shit. That man prepared for everything and anything. And you saw as soon as it went in, he went in. He just, as soon as they said go, he was like already in the middle of the cage.
And
going forward, and but he just was pressing, and then he was throwing those hands, and even if they weren't power shots, they were more than like Nate Diaz style shots because they did have a little bit in them. They were stunning them, and then he was like,
they were.
Oh shit! And Leon tried to throw back, but Belal was like eating him like Fruity Pebbles or something. Like he looked like he had no fear of the power behind Leon's punches or kicks. Like he landed a knee every once in a while. He landed a couple kicks every now and then, but it wasn't anything that stumbled Belal. Like in the first fight, before the eye poke, Leon throws a head kick and it rocked Belal for a little bit. That never happened in this fight.
Nope.
That never happened. Leon was so focused on the strikes that by the time Belal shot in, it was already too late. He
was done.
hit those takedowns so good. I've never seen anybody wrestle like that with mix the stand-up with the wrestling like that. Like that was almost Khabib Islam style wrestling, but with of like, I don't even know who to compare the striking to, because it was just so precise, so accurate, so like no energy wasted.
Yeah, but Leon, but again, Leon did not look himself. So do you think Belal looked better because Leon looked so out of touch, out of his game? I don't know where he was. He did not look like the champion fighter that we've seen before. Nothing at all. Like I feel like Leon left and went back home at the weigh-in. Like as soon as that happened at the weigh-in, he was like, "Oh shit," and he left. And I don't know who that was.
I think that when Belal hit that first takedown, like within 45 seconds, right? It was so quick. We were like, "Oh my god, dude, are you kidding me?" Kamaru couldn't even do that. Not even in the first fight. It took him it took him till the end of the first round before he was able to get Leon down. Belal did it like, "Hey, bro, you're going down right now. Good dude." And he just kept him down. Like, Leon was able to pop up eventually, but then he just kept hitting him over and over and over. And then I think when he hit this takedown right here, that was it.
Oh, that was done.
Was this in the second round?
This second round, yeah.
Check this out. Look at this. Got his hands clasped. Boom! And he landed
right on his head.
He got spiked right on the freaking head. Let's watch this. We got to watch this full screen. Look at that.
Yes.
He is like a jackhammer, bro.
Look
at the look on Belal's face. Like, this is perfect textbook. Like, look up to the sky, lock your hands in,
back straight, lifting with the legs.
Use your power, bro. Use your power.
Kaboom. And dump.
Herniated disc in your neck, bro.
Oh,
go get surgery.
Yeah, that shit hurt me watching it. I was like, oh my god, I don't think I can walk.
That was bad. That was very, very bad.
And he was wobbly after that. He was wobbly.
Definitely, man. That was the mat. That was a sick mat return on his head. On his head. You know? So shout out to Belal Muhammad and new, you know. So apparently he had an agreement with Shavkat.
Oh,
Shavkat, yeah. Check this out. I mixed these up. So check this out. Here's the agreement. Shavkat tweeted after the fight, "Congratulations on your well-deserved victory at Bully 170. I hope you keep your word and defend your title against me when you're ready, champ."
Oh,
so I don't know if they had an agreement ahead of time. Hey, when I win the belt, it's gonna be me and you. We're gonna run it. I don't know, but according to Khamzat or to Shavkat, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, was he saying? I wonder what happened. Was he supposed to fight Leon and he backed off so that way he could fight him, and then that could give him the chance to fight?
Well, there hadn't been any talks of Shavkat fighting for the title recently, as of yet. Like everyone's saying, he needs at least one more, probably, right? And so, Ian Garry had called out Shavkat, so that was the talk. Hey, that they were gonna go, they were gonna fight, possibly looking at December. Shavkat was like, "Hey, let's run it. I beat your ass in the gym all the time. Let's do it. We already know how it's gonna go." So that's what I thought was possibly gonna happen. But now, if this happens, hey, that might be a better fight. You know,
that sounds like a better fight to me,
right? I think so. If they don't, I think Kamaru is still ranked number one, the number one contender in 170. So if they give it to Kamaru, okay, you know. But if they give it to Shavkat, that's probably a more popular choice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think
know you
Kamar's
heard,
like he's old news.
right? Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And before yesterday, though, Leon was talking about he wanted to get one more fight in before the end of the year.
Not no more.
Yeah, well, just because he's not the champ doesn't mean he's not gonna. Well, he can't defend the belt because he doesn't have it anymore, but he can still fight again, right?
Yeah.
He
But
said he
can he
wanted to
though?
fight.
Can he be dumped on his head like that? Jeez.
Well, we'll see. I mean, give him a 90-day suspension. As long as he passes all medicals, he might be okay for November, December.
Okay, all right.
And
who you got him going against?
If Shavkat is gonna fight Belal, then Ian needs a dance partner, cuz.
Oh,
what about Leon Edwards, Ian Garry?
Okay.
There is a little back. So check this out. Let me set it up for you.
Okay.
There's a little bit of history here because Ian Garry used to train at Leon's gym and they booted him out. They kicked him out. Like, hey, you got to go, bro. You got to get the fuck out of here. You're too much. It was kind of like that Ryan Garcia vibe where like Ian's out there like, hey, he's always coming in with cameras. He wants to be on the gram all the time. He wants to do this social media shit. Like, that's not why we're here. We're here to train. Yeah. We're here to get better. And so that's why they asked him to leave. So I guess he was a bit of too Hollywood for the gym. So
was this before or after his wife was involved?
This was like when it was all going down.
Okay.
Like this was before the Kobe situation.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So he had been there for a while.
All right.
But hey, that's something that I think needs to get looked into. So we'll see what happens as the pieces start to fall into place. That could be a matchup we might be talking about.
All right. Do you see Leon ever becoming champ again?
No.
Yeah.
I don't. No. I don't know, man.
Not with that performance last night.
No, definitely not, right? I don't know, man. So in the post-fight press conference, Uncle Dana got on the mic because you know that King Green had asked for extra bonus, 100K. And Dana gave it to them. But this was Dana talking in the post-fight
conference. The fighters managed to get you to up the bonuses. Do you think there's an argument that maybe you should just up them?
I think tonight showed that we should not. No, upping them doesn't change anything. It doesn't make anybody fight any harder. It doesn't change anything. I'm not doing this again. Ever. Today was the last day that I'm doing that. Yeah. Not saying that in the future the bonuses couldn't get up, but I'm not gonna be at a press conference and say 200, 300. Fucking never again. Never again. So you can thank everybody on this card for that. Yeah. Nobody fought any harder. There was no sense of urgency. Holy shit, I want the 100,000. 7 straight. Who gives a fuck? It's fucking 7 o'clock in Vegas. So whatever. Yeah. Never again.
Okay.
7 straight fucking decisions. Yeah. The 100.
So I think that's kind of selfish of Dana to not take into account that, hey, you had him fighting at 3 o'clock in the morning. The co-main event and main event ended early. Like,
but I mean, don't think about it. Who is it really going to affect? Is it going to affect the fighter that lives there, that fights in the morning? Because like he's saying, if it's 7 in the evening back home and the American fighters, that's their time. That's their normal time. So really, are they really affected as much as the fighters?
Well, but they weren't. Everybody on the card wasn't American. Because look at co-main and main event. Most of those guys were American, so it definitely didn't affect them, right?
Okay, all right.
But some of the other fighters definitely affected the crowd. If you know what I mean? Like as the night went on, it's. I don't care what you think. I don't care how long you adjusted for. Fighting at 5:30 in the morning versus 9:30 at night. You know what I mean? It's completely.
Is that why most people in the crowd were in their pajamas and they had like
probably? You know what I mean? Let's call Dana White at 5:30 in the morning tomorrow and let's run him through a press conference and let's see, hey, motherfucker, answer these questions. What's the deal? Right? It's 7 p.m. Right. It's somewhere right now. Come on. You know what I mean? He's such a fucking idiot, dude. I hate that he like tries to frame it like that because like that's how I see it. They don't want to fucking fight for money. Bro, they're fucking fighting for $10,000 barely. You don't think they want 100K? Of course they're gonna go balls out if they can. You're stupid. I think this is just an excuse for him. He's probably been getting some shit from the people higher up, like, hey, you fucking better not be doling out extra bonuses. You know what I mean? And the moment that Dana can take that back, hey, this is more money in the pockets for the company, you know? That's just what I'm thinking. I don't know. So another decision that was made was Dana White kicking Muhammad Mokaev out of the UFC. So check this out. Let's play a little bit of this clip.
Said that his contract is up, and he made this interesting remark that said someone at the UFC told him to stop shooting for these takedowns so much, and maybe he'll get this contract that he wants. Is that true? And what do you think he'll bring him back?
Yeah, that's what we tell guys. We tell guys how to fight and tell them what we've been doing this for a long fucking time. I'm sure one of the matchmakers probably said something to him or whatever, but yeah, the matchmakers aren't big fans of his for many different reasons. And not just there's a lot of people who shoot takedowns in this business. You know, a lot of guys that fight with that type of style, but it's a lot more than just that.
But Mokaev is the guy that you'd want to bring back to the UFC because he said his contract is totally done now.
Yeah, he is. He's under contract. He's not under contract anymore.
Okay, but would you be interested in keeping him around in the fall?
I think the PFL is going to get a great undefeated guy.
Really?
Good luck to him.
Cold-blooded. He gives Mokaev the boot, says that, hey, we're not getting rid of him just because he's a boring fighter. There's plenty of other fighters that have that same style, but there's a lot of baggage that comes along with him. So we probably touched upon a little bit of it with the Manel Cop. You know what I mean? Like, the UFC is not going to get rid of a wrestler that is undefeated and could potentially be a champion in your company because you're boring. You know what I mean? They don't even get rid of John Jones.
Right? Yeah.
So Mokaev must have been, Mokaev must have been doing something. Like, you know what I mean? Because the fight was supposed to be on the pay-per-view, and it got moved to the prelims.
Something happened.
So,
but who are who are the people you're talking about, like the matchmakers? Like, who is that?
Nick Maynard, and I can't remember the name of the other guy, but the UFC has two people that are in charge of setting the fights up. So they'll talk to Dana about, hey, I'm thinking about making this fight. What do you think? And once they get the okay, then they go reach out to the fighters.
Okay, so there's actual people in that position that are doing it.
Yeah, that's a job. Yeah, I know. I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you knew this, but a while back, Dana White did. They had a contest where they had. Remember last year when we were submitting our card, if we could make our own UFC 300 card.
Oh yeah.
So the UFC had a contest to do that.
Okay, yeah.
And the guy that won it got a job being a matchmaker. Like they hired him as an assistant now. Yeah.
Hey, UFC, you should do that again. I think we want a second chance at this.
Hell yeah. Put us all in. All right, because let's talk about one of our other favorite organizations, One Championship. They're coming out to the States. In November, heading out to Atlanta. The ATL is getting our boy Rodtang in the main event. It's going to be another banger. But check this out, because next Friday, what do we got?
Friday night.
It's back. Friday fight. Friday fight. And it's so crazy because the spike that Belal Muhammad did on Leon Edwards, Jared Brooks did to someone in his last fight. And they stopped the fight because spiking someone on their head is against the rules. So the dude got spiked on the head. He definitely jacked his neck up. So Jared Brooks he didn't do it on purpose. He was definitely shook up after the event. You know what I mean? After the fight, he realized, he saw what had happened. And he was like, I don't know if he was crying, but he was like visibly shaking up. Because everyone wants to, you're fighting for sure, but you want everybody to go home, and you want them to go home the way they left the house. You know what I mean? Like no one wants to end someone's career and livelihood. But there's gonna be some bangers. Cuz check it out, Jared Brooks on the main card, and look at the co-main event. They're pushing the grapplers up. Your favorite grappler, Danielle Kelly, taking on Maisa Bastos, atomweight submission grappling world championship. That is going to be, so if you are unfamiliar with jiu-jitsu and you're like, what exactly does jiu-jitsu do? You're going to want to watch this fight because it's going to be like two technical, mad scientists on the mat going at each other. It's going to be a good match. I usually am not super into the ladies matches, but when they are on point and the skill level is even, they're bangers, and that's going to be a banger. Kickboxing matches, there are going to be some good ones. Felipe Lobo loves to beat the shit out of people because Nakrob, check that out. Bout 9 is going to be a badass one. Shamil Gasanov, a Russian kickboxer. That's all I got to say about that. And there's a handful of other interesting fights that you're going to want to pay attention to. So check it out next Friday. You got yourself an Amazon Prime account. Go watch it. It's already free. Because I found this documentary online a little while ago, and I actually shared it with my class, and it was pretty cool. So it's the life and times of ex-WEC fighter Miguel Torres. Miguel Torres was an early WEC bantamweight champ, I want to say, featherweight champ, but he was a bad MFer, man. One of the first black belts in the United. Actually, he's early on, one of the first Carlson Gracie black belts. And the reason I was such a big fan of Miguel Torres is because he's from a little shitty town called East Chicago, Indiana, that just happens to be the same town my mom is from. So shout out Miguel Torres. Yeah, super cool, man. He's got his own gym out there now. If you get a chance, watch the documentary. I'll have it in the description. The life and legacy of Miguel Torres. I think it's only like 30, 40 minutes long. Okay. So it's not too bad. Yeah. All right, cuz last week we had the Jake Paul and Mike Perry boxing match. Conor McGregor's, is an part owner of BKFC. And in the press conference before the fight.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. He's a partial owner. He owns a little bit of it.
Okay.
So the day before the Jake Paul fight, Mike Perry announced that he's going to start his own boxing bare knuckle organization, and he's going to call it Dirty Boxing Championships. I don't know if you want to tell your current employer that you're getting into the same business that they are currently in, especially at their own press conference. Like that's just or maybe if even I don't even know if it's at their press conference, but it's on the same day that you're gonna have a press conference with them, dude. That's just bad etiquette. That's just bad manners. You should not be doing that. So after Mike Perry got his ass handed to him by JP, Conor went on Twitter and told Mike Perry that you are officially fired. So, I don't know if that's official or not. I haven't heard anything about it since. We'll see. But that sounded pretty.
What an idiot.
Yeah.
What an idiot, man. That's like talking about leaving your job before you have another job lined up. And they're just like, oh, okay, you're leaving? Well, here, send you on your way.
Yeah, good luck. Don't let the door hit you on the way out, right?
Yeah, right.
All right, cuz let's talk about some rule changes here. 2 quick rule changes.
Yes,
These came out
I've been wanting to hear about this.
So the first one is the 12-6 elbow. This one coming straight down is now legal. That is the move that you all remember gave John Jones his only loss on his record, because when he fought Matt Hamill, he had that full mount and he landed a couple of these elbows that are labeled the 12-6, and that's why he got disqualified, and that's why he has 1 loss on the record. Now that's going to be completely legal. And it goes into effect the 1st of November of this year. The other rule change is, and I hate this rule change. I mean, I love this rule change. I wish it would have came sooner, but this is they're going to get rid of that stupid rule that allows fighters to post their hand on the mat when they're standing, so that way they can't get kneed or hit in the head.
Oh, okay.
That's completely legal now. Remember when Arnold Allen fought Movsar Evloev and he like lifted him up off the mat and then kneed him? That should have been legal. That should have been legal like right now. But now, today, if that were to have happened and Movsar did that, Arnold Allen would not have had to have lifted him up. He could have just started throwing the knees right there.
Kneeing him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now the rule is a fighter must have at least 1 knee on the ground to prevent their opponent from kicking or kneeing them to the head. So no more posting on all fours. Like
okay, good.
Like downward dog style. If you're downward dog, bro, you're about to get bombed on. So watch out.
Yeah,
I am
good
for that rule change. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, cuz I like sharing good stuff to go out and watch or listen to. And earlier in the week, Joe Rogan had Francis Ngannou on. So this is the second time Ngannou has gone on the podcast with Joe. And I want to say it's like a little over 2 hours. So it's super long, but dropping nice tidbits of information. Kind of like, and it's really funny. Actually, it's kind of a coincidence that what he talked about on the fight and what happened in last night's UFC event, because it could, that time change definitely has an effect on the fighter. So check this out. When Francis Ngannou fought Anthony Joshua, they fought in Saudi Arabia, right? They fought in Riyadh.
Yeah.
So Francis was told by the boxing promoters to arrive at the arena at midnight because he was going to fight. Oh, no, they wanted him to arrive at 11 because the fight was, they were going to start at 1. So he's like, okay, 2 hours ahead of time. I'll leave the hotel at 11. Francis gets to the hotel or to the arena, and he's, everything's going okay. And at about 12:30, they're like, hey, you know what? We're running a little bit behind schedule. You're not going to come out until 3. So now it went from, hey, we're going to start at 1:30 a.m. Now we're going to start at 3:30 a.m. 3 o'clock comes and like, hey, you know what? We're still behind. We're probably not going to start until 5:30.
What the fuck?
Has already been back there, like warming up, settling down, warming up, settling down. 3:30 comes. Guess who just shows up to the arena? Anthony Joshua. He was supposed to, it seemed like it was a setup. Somebody knew what time the fight was really going to start, and somebody didn't. So just imagine, like, they keep telling you, hey, you're going to fight in a little bit. No, you're not. You're going to fight a little bit. No, you're not. You're going to fight a little. Like, that's exhausting. That's exhausting.
Yeah.
And then on top of that,
see your opponent walk in later on where he could be rested and everything.
Now you're pissed off because you're like, oh, motherfucker, you fucking knew about this shit? And it definitely had an effect on the fight, because Francis is talking about how he just didn't feel himself. And obviously,
he's been up all night.
Yeah. So go check out the interviews. They're really super cool. He gives lots of insight. He did say that he is going to fight this year, MMA.
Okay.
So he's going to go up against this guy that fought Ryan Bader. This guy, his name is Renan Ferreira. Renan Ferreira is 6'8", 260 plus pounds.
What the fuck?
He's a monster too, man. So it's not going to be a quick, easy walk through the park. It's going to be dangerous. So stay tuned to that. All right. I talked a little bit about this last week when I said Juliana Pena went on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani, and Juliana Pena started talking shit about Kayla. And and Juliana said specifically that she knows for a fact that, but when she was asked, do you have proof? All she said was, I know. I know she is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you don't know shit then. Yeah.
Right. Oh, man. Yeah. So Kayla responded back and she's like, hey, she's just saying this because I'm going to whoop her ass.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for that to happen, man.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah. Heck yeah. I think Juliana Pena is supposed to be fighting Raquel Pennington in November. So then after that, we'll see what happens. So it's going to take a while, but eventually we should see it. Unless Juliana loses to Raquel, then we're going to have to wait for this. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, because your boy Sean Strickland is a little PO'd at Khamzat for talking about training footage. Khamzat recalls sparring with Sean Strickland. Strickland said he beat me in spotting, but there were a lot of guys around who saw me choking him and beating him up. So we also have some unfinished business. Strickland MMA responds, I'm glad he found time to speak this bullshit. I thought he was too busy running crypto scams and hiding from warlords. Not sure if you know that, but Khamzat did get busted for being part of a crypto scam that was taking people. So, hey, I know Sean said that he didn't want to take a fight unless it was for the belt, but bro,
yeah,
this is at that level. This is at that level. That's what I'm saying. Run it. Let's make this happen. Right?
Yes.
All right, cuz we are officially getting Max and Illia. Illia says
man.
Check this out, though,
can't wait.
Dude. How about this, dude? Illia says that the UFC has forced Max to say yes.
Bruh.
I don't
Do
believe
you
that
even know Max Holloway? Like he don't give a fuck. Yeah.
Maybe he's confused with Max Holloway.
Yeah.
I don't believe this for a fucking second, because I don't believe it for a second. We'll get to the Sphere card in just a bit. How about this, though? Tatsuro Taira versus Brandon Raw Dog Royval. They haven't announced when, but this is number 1 versus number 5. They are trying to move this kid up fast.
Yeah.
I think this might be too much, man. I think Raw Dog is just gonna beat the shit out of this kid, because the kid is good on the ground, but we haven't seen him striking yet. I mean, the kid had trouble with our boy Edgar Chairez. If Edgar could have kept it on the feet, man, I think he would have beat Taira. And we'd be talking about a different matchup right now. So
yeah,
I don't know. This might be too much too soon, but hey, they wouldn't have done this to Sean O'Malley. All right, cuz check this out. Dana White did drop the entire card for UFC Vegas September 14th. You ready for this?
Ooh. Okay, let's do it.
Buckle up. Keep your pants on.
All right, everybody. The highly anticipated UFC Noche card, September 14th at the Sphere in Las Vegas. The main event, the bantamweight title fight. Sean O'Malley versus Merab. Sean O'Malley is returning to make his second title defense against the very tough Merab. Sean is the most exciting fighter in the bantamweight division with an all-action style and heavy knockout power. He won the belt after knocking out Aljamain Sterling in the second round, and now he takes on Aljamain's teammate Merab, who is currently on a 10-fight win streak and has looked impressive in consecutive wins over 3 former champions in Cejudo, Jan, and Aldo. In the co-main event, Alexa Grasso is taking on Valentina Shevchenko for the women's
I'll be watching.
The last time they fought, it was considered the greatest title fight in the history of the women's 125-pound division, and it ended in controversy. These two just finished coaching against each other in the last season of The Ultimate Fighter, and this is the trilogy fight to end the rivalry. Ladies and gentlemen, expect an absolute war in this one. The most hyped prospect in the featherweight division, Diego Lopez, is taking a massive step and facing number 3 ranked Brian Ortega. These two were supposed to fight in the co-main event at UFC 303, but the bout was moved to this card after Ortega became ill.
That's gonna be a
Lopez stayed on that card where he beat Dan Ige on 3 hours' notice and immediately asked to fight Ortega at the Sphere. These guys love to stand and trade, even though they both have unbelievable jiu-jitsu. Both will fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. I can guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, this fight is going to be incredible. Daniel Zellhuber may be Mexico's most talented young prospect. From Mexico City, he's 15-1 and fights with a fast-paced, striking heavy style. He's looking for his 3rd straight performance bonus when he takes on Esteban Ribovic. Ribovic is 13-1 with all but one of those coming by finish. He's a threat with big power and great submissions. This will be the biggest test for both of these guys. And finally, opening the main card is one of Mexico's favorite and most popular fighters in Ronaldo Lazy Boy Rodrigues. Lazy Boy is literally from the streets of Veracruz and fights with an aggressive Mexican style. He won his UFC debut by 2nd round finish and will be looking to add to his resume by taking on the tough, well-rounded veteran Ode Osborne. The prelim fights include Irene Aldana versus Norma Dumont, Manuel Torres versus Ignacio Bahamundes, Yasmin Haurgi versus Ketlin Souza, Edgar Chairez versus Kevin Borjas. The first fight of the night is Raul Rosas Jr. versus Alrichi Lang. Ladies and gentlemen, Saturday, September 14th, live from the Sphere. I will see you there.
Oh, that's going to be
that's
gonna
put that on the calendar right there. Do not miss this one.
That's going to be so good. Oh man, I can't wait. I cannot wait for that to happen, man.
But they didn't just load up a bus of fucking Mexicans and say, "Come on down, you guys are gonna fight this weekend." God.
But don't think you guys are gonna get to stay. You gotta go back.
Yeah. Oh man,
dude, this card is gonna be on fire from the moment it starts. The early prelims, the main card. I cannot wait. And then the presentation of it all, man. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do.
Yeah,
it's gonna be like
that dome thing. I mean that dome thing in Vegas is just nuts.
It's gonna be like the old Pride veteran day, old Pride FC days on steroids. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's gonna be sick. I can't wait.
Damn.
Well, because that's the last story I have for us. Anything you want to add before we wrap it up?
No, man. I had a great time. Thanks for bringing all this stuff up. There was some stuff I missed out on, and I'm glad I got to see some more.
Yeah, good stuff, man. As you all know, I'm gonna have to cut those clips out, cover them up on the YouTubes, but head over to our socials at Chingasos Crew. Give us a follow, give us a like, help us build our community up. That's all we have for you guys. Until next week, have a fucking kick-ass week. Stay cool out there. Until next week, Chingasos Crew out. Peace.
Peace.
Good show, cuz.
Nice, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Demolition, and there's that right hand. They're duking it out. Mouth right with right hand. Takayama.
Green trunks for the southpaw, the notorious Conor McGregor. Black trunks for the champion, Jose Aldo Jr. Conor relaxed, smiling. Oh!
Nate Diaz, he just shook up the world. How's that feel? Hey, I'm not surprised.